So sometime last week on the news, they were saying how there was a bridge that kind of fell here in Baltimore, and I'm like, that was weird. I had a little concern because summertime is about to show up, and I do still plan on going to New York. But I was praying that hopefully this is not one of those bridges we have to pass by to get to New York. So I just thought that was weird. And so as I'm watching the news, I'm not really getting all the details, but apparently there was like a ship with all this carrying stuff, um, like these carts and shit like that. And I'm like, it's like the carts or whatever you call them, the storage stuff that was on top of the ship made this ship tall. So I'm like, how the fuck did it not really go under the fucking bridge? Like, how is it really the tip of, like, how could the bumper of the fucking like the bumper of the fucking boat or ship um basically touched the bridge, and the bridge kind of like fell apart like fucking Legos. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's really for real, like they claim it is, or maybe that was one of those abandoned bridges that I usually see on the side as we're passing by a bridge. Like even in New York, they're coming up with different lanes and stuff like that on the freeway and highway and shit like that. So I'm like, that's hard to believe. But baby's like, no, they're saying, the ship stopped working or some shit. I'm like, what? No, like these motherfuckers will come up with a storyline that you just wouldn't believe. And I'm just like, well, I don't believe it. Like I can see how it's true. Like, when I was younger, they were always saying that the bridge has like a divider. So sometimes if there's a ship or a boat that's pulling up, uh, and someone that's like working on the bridge has to kind of alert all the drivers that's on the bridge, so that they can eventually open up the bridge and no one's hurt or to be harmed or whatever. But I feel like this was one of those bridges that maybe was like like abandoned or on the side. Maybe they were already planning to take it down, and so they just really needed a whole storyline for it. Uh, it was like it. My father works on those type of ships and shit like that, so I'm just like, how ironic. If you watch any of my previous videos, and you will understand why. But I'm just like, how ironic that this has happened. Now, it could be true, but I just don't believe that it is, especially with the timeline and how shit has happened with like the whole nation talk and my experience with financial aid and shit like that. Honestly, I just feel like it's something that is to be like used for entertainment type shit. Like, I don't really believe that. I feel like even if it's a ship or a boat, even that shit has to have GPS. Even you need to know where the fuck you going. Even you need to know a map. So how the hell you don't know that this bridge is yay high and that your shit is right there with it? That if you even touch the edge of that shit, depending on the longevity of the fucking bridge, it can fall apart. And so from far, that shit might look like, oh shit, that shit was mad close. But honestly, they could have been planned to take that shit down, and they just needed a ship there, or something to make it look like something. They talking about they're not gonna rebuild the ship. They're not gonna rebuild the bridge, and of course not. If it was an old ass bridge, and they already planned to take it down, of course they're not gonna rebuild it. Now, if it's a bridge that needs to connect to everywhere around the city, you would have to rebuild it. You would have to let us know how long it's going to take to do so. Why wouldn't you spend tax money on that? It's like, it was so annoying to even here, and it's like they've been dragging it for like the whole week. Um, I think that was sometime last week. They've been dragging it, and they're gonna keep dragging it because it just looks like something. No, I'm already annoyed. So I don't really believe that it just happened. The ship stopped working. The ship stopped right there. You know, kind of Titanic-ish, like, you know, it's just like so dramatic to me. And I'm like, I forgot to mention this because I wasn't making videos earlier this week. So I'm like, I saw it last night and I'm just still annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because it's like, you needed to know where you were going, and you needed to know what bridges and what would have been uh in the way. And how do you not know that your ship, it just looks like the ship didn't fit under the fucking bridge. So it's like, how did you not know that? So of course, to not admit that, you're gonna say that the fucking ship stopped working, or you're gonna say, you know, that they couldn't pump the brakes type shit on some Titanic shit. Like when they seen the iceberg or whatever, the ice chunk, and they try to pump the brakes way too late. They were already too close, so they couldn't stop the ship. And I'm just like, please come up with some better storylines. Um, because I just I'm surprised. Like, um, and I found out about it on my phone, like online news. So once I was watching the news on the TV, I saw it again, and I'm like, okay. But it's just, I'm not even listening to what the fuck actually happened. It's just I'm basing it off what I've seen and what Bay tells me and stuff like that. But just the visual was so annoying to me. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't believe it. So I thought I'd make a video about that. I'm awaiting confirmation of my FAFSA. I'm awaiting confirmation of uh, my high school transcript being received and sent over to the university and shit like that. So that I can register on time. I'm so over these people. I don't understand why FAFSA even blocked me as far as emailing them. And so all this shit that's been happening, and all of a sudden you're gonna throw something like that in my face. Please. But it is scary because the drive from Baltimore to New York is long. So I just really was like, damn, I hope, now that I am planning to go to New York, how could they fucking knock down a whole fucking bridge? And obviously I'm gonna look at that as well. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't go to New York. Maybe we should hop on a plane. Like, and that's so extra. There has to be a way. And I was telling Bay there has to be a way to get to New York. That can't be the main fucking bridge. And I pray that, that does not happen on the main lines. And I'm just like, damn, that I don't think that ever happened in New York. And I hope it doesn't, it just never happens. But we over there protected by the fucking Statue of Liberty. So, you know, out here, I don't really know. They do have a statue out here. I don't know if it's the Virgin Mary or whatnot, but they do have a little statue out here. But she not in the water like Lady Liberty. So that's, it's not the same. Um, and I've been telling Bay, yo, we need to learn how to swim because worst case scenario, I don't want to be forced into the water and not know how to fucking swim. They were saying, I forgot the amount. I'm not sure if it was 7 or 12 people got hurt or whatever. But I'm just like, I doubt it. It looks like a abandoned bridge. But maybe they don't want to admit that. And with all the shit that I've been seeing online, photoshopped and whatnot, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. But hopefully, that just never happens again. I feel like please have these people that have these types of jobs with the correct information. I feel like that's like you would have uh sent a couple workers in a fucking truck, and you know they're under like a train station or some shit and can't fit the whole fucking truck past the red light because the train station is so low and their truck is so like up here, and so there's no way. um but um I don't know, it just don't make no damn sense. Or like I feel like it's one of those situations where you have like a long car and the parking spot is like this much, but you want to fit your long ass car right there. It don't make no damn sense.